भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So all these days we were speaking about healing lifestyle and everything. So today we'll speak in detail about diet and what to eat, what not to eat. And so we can go in. So I will welcome any questions also in between if you have. All right. So let's begin with what makes a healthy meal. So in Ayurveda, the important aspect of digestion, or the most important aspect of digestion, is the Agni, fire of digestion, Lord Vishnu. In fact, in one place, Srila Prabhupada says in the Bhagavatam that if Krishna does not want you to move your hand, like somebody is crippled or something, then you won't move. Right? So in your body, there are two control mechanisms which are directly the manifestation of the Lord. Of course, every cell, everything is manifestation of Lord only. But there are two beautiful control mechanisms. One is Agni, the fire of digestion, and second is the prana vayus, the airs. Okay. The rest of the body, for example, the muscles, it is said, like in astrology, it is Saturn, for example. The blood is Mars. Okay? So, all these mechanisms that are check and balances that are given by the Lord. For example, when the Lord, Srila Prabhupada says in the Gita Nagari essay, that the Agni, Lord Vishnu, is pleased when the yagya or the food is done with the ghee. So that is why in Kali Yuga it is said, Kali Yuga begins with the attack on the cow. Previously everybody had a cow. In fact, when the British first visited Calcutta, they said there are more cows than human beings. So British started the first slaughterhouse in India. And no matter where somebody was and who was the ruler, it didn't matter, because the cows provided all the necessary. So just now before coming, we had 2 cups of farm cow milk. It was amazing. So milk basically provides, in one sense, all the essential nutrients. If you have seen the first day, I was showing the Sapta Rasa, right? 7 rasas. So the goal of Rasa Dhatu is Jivanam, to give life. So first is whatever you eat, it gives life. Second, as it digests, it becomes your mental energy also, right? So we discussed the three purposes of food yesterday. What is that? First is increase the duration of life, correct? Lengthen your lifespan, ayushyam. Second is increase intelligence, buddhi. So your food defines your intelligence as well. And the third is physical strength, right? But physical strength is the third. But first is increase the span of life. But you want long span of life but healthy. So ayushyam, tejam, arogyam. You need all three, right? So what criteria of food satisfies it for today? Now, if you look at scriptures, if you look at Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we talk about kachori, right? We talk about all these things. And wheat was mainly used. Wheat and rice were mainly used. Unfortunately, what has happened today, okay, is that the main crops have become very less energetic. They have been converted into GMO. Okay. So we see that wheat is there in Ayurveda also. It says that Godhuma Shali. In fact, in Ayurvedic diet, in yoga diet, it is said your food should have, to strengthen your yoga practice, you should have wheat, Godhuma Shali. But today everybody says no to wheat. Okay? Says no to wheat. You know why? So 1950s, they wanted to increase the yield of the wheat in 1950s. So what they did, they increased the number of grains on the wheat. Okay? So it became 10 times more, and the tree, the stem fell down. Okay? It was so many grains on the wheat plant. So then they were thinking, what should we do? So they made the stem itself, they genetically modified so that it becomes smaller and thick. Okay, smaller and thick. And what happened? It became smaller and thick and it could hold it. So what was 8 feet today is 3 feet. Now what happened because of that? So every seed has protein. Every seed has carb, protein, little bit fat, right? Vitamins, minerals. When they modified the wheat, for example, the starch component, the sugary component, it went way higher. In fact, 4 to 5 times higher. So today, if somebody is a diabetic, if he eats wheat, his sugar goes 3 times than the normal. But that is not how it is supposed to be. The original wheat is completely lost. They say some varieties are there, but I don't know which one. Very rarely. They say spelt is original wheat and this and that. In fact, there are more than 100, 150 varieties of wheat just in the US. But today only 4 or 5 varieties of wheat are left. Okay, and they are high in gluten. And what does gluten do? Gluten destroys the beta cells in the pancreas. Okay, it destroys the beta cells in the pancreas. So today, unfortunately, if I look at the shloka in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, it says Godhuma Shali Shastika Shobhanannam. One should eat to strengthen the body, one should eat wheat. So now you cannot eat that. So in Amazon, if you look at it, there is a book called Wheat Belly. It is written by a doctor, and he documents more than 90% of his patients, when he told them to quit wheat, they were able to overcome most of their allergies. In fact, my own son, every time he would eat wheat, he would get some allergy. So we stopped wheat, allergies went away. So this is Kali Yuga, right? I remember the episode where in the Bhagavatam, when Maharaj Prithu is trying to, from the Mother Earth, he is trying to ask her to give, she is hiding all the food. Right? Mother Earth is hiding all the food. And at that time, he asks Mother Earth, why are you hiding all the food? He says, people are using the food for, not for health. They are using it for enjoyment. So I am hiding all the food. Right? When food is just made for enjoyment. Do you see the correlation today? Right? So some asuras come and they make GMO and all the crops are gone. Okay, just like this they made about kale. You know kale, right? So everybody said superfood, superfood, superfood. Right? Kale is now they are saying it's an anti-nutrient, for example. Okay? But kale is easy to grow. So if you cut the stem of kale, it grows, each stem grows into another full kale. So it's easy to sell. So they, okay, how do I market this now? Okay, tell it is superfood. So this is the situation of today. Okay. Therefore, if you really want to improve your health, so you have to follow the classical texts as well as you have to see what is happening in the modern world today. Just because it says there is wheat is good, doesn't mean wheat is good today. In fact, I was a member of another Ayurvedic group, and he was putting these shlokas on wheat, and he was saying how wheat is beneficial. I was thinking, which world is he today? In fact, in India, the highest amount of cancer is in the state of Punjab, and they grow the highest wheat. Actually, in Las Vegas, there was one lady who got 1.5 million. Just the amount, I was thinking, it's too good, too good. What did she do to get 1.5 million? So then she ate peanuts. So this is easy. You eat peanuts, you get 1.5 million. So actually what happened, she ate peanuts, she got allergies. And the paramedics came few minutes late. And they did not administer the $25, some small injection is there on time, that EpiPen or something, anti-allergent. So she got an anaphylactic shock. So what happened with that anaphylactic shock is that she got paralyzed. So then she got $1.5 million payout. So I was thinking, ye peanut kha ke kya ho raha hai? What is wrong with peanuts? In India, so many people eat peanuts. I know I didn't see anybody get paralyzed. Right? But when I researched, I found that peanut is grown in the same fields as wheat. So whatever goes into the ground that they spray on the wheat is absorbed by the peanuts. So you can imagine the amount of glyphosate on top of the GMO wheat. Okay? So this is why wheat today is regarded as one of the most, in fact, if you go to any shop today, any coffee shop or any casual shop, what do you see? Bagel, right? You see bagel, you see muffins, you see everything. What is it made out of? Right? All-purpose flour. Correct? Everything, all purposes are in one flour. Same thing in different things. Sugar, wheat, sugar, wheat, sugar, wheat. Bagel, muffin, what is that? Croissant, what else? Everything is the same thing. They made it industrial. In fact, it is bleached to make it look white. Imagine you are eating bleached GMO with glyphosate. Can you imagine? Your intestine, costa. No wonder there is so many health issues today, allergies especially. So, the first thing that I realized that you need food that is nourishing. Okay, so that should be grown with minimum, you know, and you need a mix of grain, vegetables, fruits. Okay, grains, vegetables, fruits. Okay, now let's go back to okay, I just had to tell something about wheat because wheat is so crucial in the sense that we use it every day. So especially those who are very serious about weight loss or those who want to have good health or get rid of diabetes, so we should eliminate wheat. Okay, because sooner or later, after years of eating, suddenly people get into diabetes, pre-diabetes, they don't even realize. Everybody seems healthy, and all of a sudden things start going wrong. They don't realize how deadly the wheat is. Yes. I was thinking the same, but then I was watching a talk by Dr. B.M. Hegde. Dr. B.M. Hegde is the head of Kasturba Medical College in Manipal. I did my engineering from Manipal. Okay, and then he asked the people there, because most of them were diabetics. Okay, and he asked, "What are you eating, Amma?" He said, that lady said, "We are eating chapati because we are diabetic." Okay, so then he said, "See, this is the trick. This is the trick. They know it is so high in gluten, so high in sugar, but it seems innocent because rice is known for sugar, right? But they don't know is that wheat is also very high in sugar. In fact, many of my clients, they have this glucose meter, and they monitor, right, everything they eat, what spike happens. Actually, the glucose spike is the highest for sugar, for wheat. It's almost equal to sugar or more, even more, because it is genetically modified. So most of my clients stopped taking wheat just looking at the meter. It goes like insane. So next time you eat a bagel, think about it. So for a normal person, it might not trigger the kind of pain that a diabetic person may endure, but definitely it is raising your toxin, raising your sugar levels. It's same in India and here. So you can imagine if 50% of the outside population, so our devotee population also comes from the mainstream population. So 50% we will have some effect. So it's very important to eat a healthy diet, correct? So in Ayurveda, your food should be based on the hunger and the time of the day. Okay? So there is two options in Ayurveda. So firstly, you go with the sun. So sun is soft in the morning, correct? Sun is not beating down in the morning. Your body, like I said, is composed of sun, moon and air. Sun, moon and Vayu, the environment. So what is the moon? The moon is the physical body. The physical body is an expansion of the moon. All your digestive juices are an expansion of the sun, the heat. Okay? And all the air circulation in the body is an expansion of Vayu or air. Correct? So sun, moon and air, they expand as Kapha, Pitta, Vata. Correct? Now this Pitta goes with the sun in your body. The cycle of the Surya actually activates the Pitta in your body. So this is called circadian rhythm. Means your body is connected to the nature. Your body is connected to circadian rhythm of the nature. That is why you cannot be awake at night and sleep during the day. It doesn't give you the full benefit. Right? Like most college students do. Right? They are awake at night and sleeping in the day. Correct? We used to do that and then we suffered. We didn't know at that time. That time it was fun. I missed this class, I didn't go to this class. I was awake all night, I was doing all we boast. Then suddenly your organs start failing in your 30s. What you do today will affect you 20 years later. It's a time bomb. Okay? So just like people eating ice cream today or cake and all these things, you are thinking, oh, nothing, I don't see it, so I'm fine. Just wait. Everything takes time. It's a ticking time bomb. Right? So most people, in fact, the average age, so 2 weeks ago I had this Namras, we recorded in February, but he broadcast it 2 weeks ago. And his Namras podcast. And after that, I had non-stop texts, phone calls from different people. And the average age of people calling me with pre-diabetes and diabetes, can you guess? Huh? 32. Right, 32. Can you imagine? Their body is over by that time. Then you have to live like a rishi. in the Ayurvedic scriptures it says once you get diabetes you have to live like a rishi. You have to be very disciplined. Right? You cannot go to birthday parties. I don't go. Anyway, because I don't eat anything. Because every time we go, it's like, Prabhuji, here vegetables for you. It's in front of everyone. I'm eating only vegetables. You can't eat cake and all these things. Huh? But anyways. So, this was the situation. Okay. So, your pitta is activated by the sun. The more you play around with the rhythm, the more your body goes off. In Ayurveda it says, either you keep some habit which you have been since childhood and your body develops that way. Okay? When you cultivate a new habit, you cannot give a shock to the body. So that is why it's very important to cultivate good habits in kids. If you miss that age, then when they go to college, they are completely confused because they eat during their breaks, right? Eat during whenever they want. They have no idea. Agree? Right? We eat during lunch also. Whenever there is a break, whatever is there, we eat that also. Right? There's no pattern. Right? However, nature has already set a pattern. So, yesterday I was saying, why is Ekadashi so critical? Otherwise, potatoes will go bad, right? No. So, Ekadashi is so critical because that day, Ekadashi to new moon, Ekadashi to full moon are the days when your digestion is at the weakest. Okay? Those days if you eat more, nothing gets absorbed. Nothing gets absorbed. So, the sun and the moon cycle. So that's why I started this fasting program called Chandrayan, and many people do it. It's very beneficial. So you start on the full moon. Actually in Rigveda, Manusmriti, there is this explanation that if you have committed sin, so sin means you have eaten wrong food, wrong times, you have abused your body. So there is something called as Krachandrayana. Okay? In Manusmriti it says, those who have committed sin of overeating, abusing their body, okay, they can follow this fasting program called Chandrayana. So what happens? In that you eat full meal on a full moon. Okay? Like say you are eating 15 idlis. I'm just giving an example. Don't eat 15 idlis, full moon. I'm just giving. So full moon you eat full. Then you reduce by 1 idli per day. Okay? And by the time you reach new moon, you are left with only chutney. Okay, no idli. Okay. So in that you are reducing by 1 per day. But at the same time, you are repenting, you are meditating on the moon, and you are praying that you don't get those habits back. Because the most dangerous thing in Ayurveda, it is said, you can quit something for some time. Right? But to quit a habit, In Bhagavatam, it also says, right? Sayeva Gokaraha. You just go to Kumbh Mela, take a shower and come back, or take a bath and come back. My sin is gone. What about my habits? What about the momentum of my habits? Right? So this Chandrayana, one has to do intense sadhana. Okay? Oh, I left my bag there, I guess. Okay. Oh, you see it. Or my phone. So, that intense sadhana actually reverses. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thank God I have noticed. So the intense sadhana reverses your pravritti. Okay? Pravritti. Because we have a tendency to overeat. Agree? All of us, given the opportunity. Right? We have a tendency to overeat. Same with me also. Like today, some of you are in the yoga class, right? Correct? Right. In the end, as we did the yoga, like I put my legs behind. That was my happiest moment. So once you put that, you can see the core becomes stronger. Your prana becomes packed. So your sadhana means to align your prana, to align the mind, to align the prana, to purify the mind, to purify the prana. That is sadhana. That is why in the Yoga Sutras, he explains, he defines. It is same in the Bhagavatam, but he gives a very small definitions there. So how to control a bad habit? Abhyasa vairagyabhyam tan nirodha. Okay? So what Krishna also says, Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna tell Arjuna? Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena hitayacha. When Arjuna says this is difficult to achieve, control of the mind, what does he say? Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Abhyasa. So what is abhyasa? How do you define abhyasa? We say, right? Practice. Yeah. How do you define practice? So, do the same thing multiple times. Okay. Okay, that is one way of looking at it. In fact, I was once with Jayadvait Maharaj. Okay, we went to so Jayadvait Maharaj and Madhu Pandit were having an argument because Jayadvait Maharaj changed one word in the Bhagavad Gita, constant to suitable. So they were discussing, it was a very beautiful discussion on why constant practice of Hatha Yoga. Prabhupada, there is that. So Jayadvait Maharaj said, in the Prabhupada's original manuscript, it is suitable. So abhyasa, tatra sthitav yatno abhyasaha. So Jayadvait Maharaj, that word, actually this was just when I joined Krishna Consciousness, I was traveling with Jayadvait Maharaj. But that one change, constant to suitable, that's when I read this Yoga Sutra, it opened up my mind. Practice means what? Practice means according to your body, mind and intelligence. Because even the Yoga Sutras, even the Bhagavatam, different parts are for different levels of people who have evolved. If you are already in a very advanced stage of yoga, you just need to do the final step. Okay? So Maharaj explained to me very beautifully that just by constantly practicing something, doing the same mistake over and over again, you won't achieve anything. If you are not progressing, you have to check where you are gone wrong. And you have to make the adjustments. Maybe you have to go back to the basic sadhana again, where something was wrong. Maybe the attitude with which you are practicing is wrong. Right? Maybe your expectations are wrong. Maybe you are, So you need to have a very beautiful discussion in that point. So this word, just this word, so that really opened up my thinking. Maharaj gave a very beautiful explanation. I loved it. Suitable. Because Prabhupada used the word suitable. So one should suitably practice. So suitably practice means, in yoga, suitable practice means not just the asana, but also diet and lifestyle. Okay? It comes along with it. Discipline means not just asana practice, but also diet and lifestyle. Okay? And that discussion opened up my eyes. It was so beautiful. Just that one thing. Suitable, abhyasa. Tatra sthita yatno abhyasa means Every day you practice your sadhana, say you are chanting, reading Bhagavatam, right? When you are reading Bhagavatam, the 10 subject matters. In fact, you had a very beautiful series here in Sammamesh temple by Gaurang Prabhu, right? The 10 subject matters of Bhagavatam. I was hearing that lecture over and over again a few years ago. It was beautiful. So you have a systematic study. You go for the goal. So it says practice means know the end goal first. Very clear. Then the method. And then pace yourself accordingly. Am I reaching the goal? Right? So Chandrayana is like that. So I just don't want that not only I get rid of this health issue or physical issue, but I also get rid of the mindset that brought me here. That I can eat what I want, I can enjoy food. Food is not meant for enjoyment. Right? What are the 3 goals of food? Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy? No. Right? Live longer, right? Ayusham tejam arogyam. Is my food giving me long life, intelligence, strength? Correct? Yes? So when we eat pizza, we should ask it again and again. Anyway, can eat once in a while. So, the point is, tatra sthita yatno abhyasaha. And what is vairagya? What is the definition of vairagya? Vairagya means we know it is to give up something, right? But what is the drashta anutshravika vitrishnasya vashikara samnya vairagyam? He says, things which you desire, things which you have already experienced, to give up the thirst for that. It's amazing, right? So once you eat some chocolate, what happens next time you see a chocolate? You are excited. Why? That experience is there. Right? Now, what can override when the mind desires? What will override it? Intelligence. So you ask what I think of, for example, when something like that happens. After you eat, what happens? Nothing. Just your sugar goes high. For a few minutes you will be happy. I think about it. I process it in my mind. I have done it before 1,000,000 times. It never ends. Right? So when my kids eat, for example, once in a while also, earlier I used to take a small bite. Now that is also gone. Right? Like they say, experience is very, like when you go for a job, they ask for experience. Right? So experience. With experience, eventually you will give it up. But the earlier you give it up, it's better. When you know something is not good for you. Correct? So, abhyasa. So, Chandrayana, what happens? So, you reduce that 15 days and then you start eating 1 idli every day more. Okay? So, then you gave up 15 idlis and then you eat 1 idli more per day. So, then you go to 15 idlis. Okay? So, you reduce with the moon and increase with the moon because your digestion varies with the moon. But by that time, 1 month, you have to get into a good routine, good sadhana. What defines you? What defines your level of control is your sadhana. How you balance your sadhana? Because we chant 2 hours of Hare Krishna. Correct? 1.5 hours, 2 hours, whatever it is. But your entire day revolves around it. Correct? You don't want to do something that will hurt your chanting the next day. That will hurt your chanting the next day. Right? You will make sure. You will make sure that everything, just like that, for me, chanting, yoga, that's it. Those 3 hours in the morning. Then rest of the day revolves around it. If I eat too much, I cannot chant, I cannot do my yoga, I cannot wake up early. This is all I am thinking. Okay, except traveling, okay, it's a different story. But when you're at home, you are very strict. Okay, so this is very, very critical. Okay, so in Ayurveda, in yoga, sadhana is meant to bring you to a higher consciousness, higher taste. Okay, so when you do that, So you eat the right food. Okay. Now let's get to what is the right foods to eat. Okay. This I have spoken all the principles. So Chandrayana fasting is something very beneficial. And if you learn that control, most devotees who did the fasting with me, in the end they said, Prabhuji, now I realize we are overeating every day. Okay? So we are overeating it. But it takes one festival to go back. Because there is so much to eat. Huh? So that is why discipline is, you have to have it every day. Alright? Okay. So now I have several presentations here. Let me see what I can open. Okay, let's talk about proteins. Okay? Let me share it. So let's start with protein. So we need something called essential fats, essential protein. So these are what is called as macronutrients in our daily diet. Okay. So the best part about protein, this lecture, I have an extended lecture on my YouTube. So essential proteins, but there is nothing called essential carbs. So for 1 year I was not eating grains. Okay, and I'm still alive. Okay, I'm just saying. But you, even without grains, one can live. Because what your body needs to repair the muscles is proteins. And what it needs for all the synovial fluids. See, most people end up with the knee cap replacement, right? You know? Many people end up with the knee cap replacement. So that is because of dryness, right? Your fats provide your softness. Okay, so that is called as Shleshaka kapha, right? In the heart there is different kapha, Kledaka kapha, Tarpaka kapha, different kaphas are there, but the joints. So your muscles are repaired by the proteins and your fats, they lubricate the whole body. That is what you need to replace. Even your brain is a fat. Okay? You should not have too much fat in the brain also. But the brain is also fat. Okay, it is fat. Your nerves are fat. In fact, your myelin is fat. Okay? So we need essential proteins, essential fats. But there is nothing called essential carbs. Okay? Now, so when you are a kid, you need more starch. So why I'm trying to come to this point is, when you grow, your body is already grown. Okay? You don't need so much starch as a kid. Children need starch. Okay? Children need a lot of rice, all this starch to grow. But when we cross almost like age 22, your body is fully grown. Okay? So you can sustain basically on, so that is why when you do Ekadashi, so basically children are exempted. Why? Because they need starch, no matter what. Okay? They can also fast, but generally for growth they will need. You can survive on fruits or you can just fast. In fact, dry fast is the best. Ekadashi, there are several levels, right? Right? Level 1 is dry fast. Level 2 is you drink water. Right? Level 3 is you drink juices. Level 4 is you take fruits. Level 5 is you take pizza. Okay? Potato pizza. Okay, whatever it is. So, once you cross 22 or something, you need less carb, more proteins in your diet. Okay? So, the muscle needs to grow and maintain. So, how do we get it? So you need, for 1 kg of your body, you need 0.8 grams of protein. Okay, so if you are about 70 kilos, you need about 68 grams of protein. Okay, but how much we need actually depends upon our activity. If you exercise, you need more protein. If you don't exercise, you need less protein. So in Ayurveda, our diet is plant-based, right? Whereas in Western, their whole diet is meat based. Correct? We cannot say just plant based. Plant based is a general word, but we are vegetarian. Like we need, Prabhupada says the essential of human life, the essential food for human life is in the udder of the cow. So that is why in Ayurveda it says you need some animal products per day. That is, the animal product means milk and ghee. Okay? Milk, yogurt, ghee. So in Ayurveda, in rare cases, meat is used. You might find, somebody might ask you, in Ayurveda there is some meat. But that's actually only when your muscle debilitation is there. You cannot digest vegetables. Some bad karma has happened to you. Right? Then in rare cases is meat given. But otherwise, we are vegetarian in Ayurveda. Right? So all the other, in fact, milk has a protein score of 1. Can you believe it? When you go to somebody's house, there is, if you see a packet of whey protein, okay? So whey protein is from derivative of milk. So if you can digest milk, you get the highest protein. In fact, all the wrestlers, right? All the wrestlers, like there was a wrestler who was bowing down with so many medals, he was bowing down to mother cow. There was a picture. So he drinks only milk and ghee. He is a vegetarian wrestler. Okay? Plenty of milk and plenty of ghee. So milk has the protein score of 1. And the finest derivative of milk is ghee. Ojas. In fact, Charvaka, I told yesterday also, Charvaka said, eat ranam kratva ghritam piba. He says, take loan and eat ghee. Ranam kratva ghritam piba yavat jivet sukham jivet. As long as you live, you will live happily. In fact, it is said, milk gives the highest protein. Okay, it has fat also, kapha. And it nourishes the muscle and nerve. Okay? And ghee nourishes everything. Nourishes the rasa, rakta, mamsa, asti, majja, virya, everything. Medas, asti, majja, virya. So ghee nourishes every part of your body. Every. So the next protein, highest protein is milk. Okay? The highest fat, the purest fat, which gives you the benefit of protein and fat also is ghee. The next best food in Ayurveda, in vegetarianism, is sprouts in protein. Okay? The next best food is sprouts. Okay? And after sprouts, it's lentils, beans. Okay? So that is the level of protein. You can just live off protein. So like I told you, 1 year I was not having grains. I was having vegetables. I was having sprouts and beans. And I wanted to prove to myself that, because actually grains, if you are a diabetic, grains raises your sugar very high. Okay, so I could not. In Ayurveda, the easiest to digest is ghee. Ghee is a self-digester. In fact, it improves your digestion. So those who have weak digestion, in Ayurveda, they are given ghee to improve their digestion, because ghee is Agni. Okay? So once ghee is there, then the easiest to digest is vegetables. Okay? Vegetables, sprouts, and then the highest is grains. So if you have a weak digestion, you remember when you have fever or something, they make khichdi and make a paste. Right? Ground paste. Like that. Because sometimes when you are sick, you can't, that paste is, that water, that kanji is very easier to digest than actually vegetables also. So, but when you are healthy, that is the way. So another thing is, those who are buying, how many buy protein shakes, protein powder? Anybody? You buy? Okay, protein shakes. Huh? Used to buy. Okay. So proteins do not absorb well when they are taken in isolation. Like Krishna has given you peas or chickpeas, correct? Now what do? Pea protein isolate. इतना process क्यों करना है भाई? Just make some pea masala. Right? You can just cook and have a nice, masala out of the peas. Because everything is given in a wholesome way by Krishna. So every grain, everything that is packed, it has some fiber, it has some carb, it has some protein, it has some vitamins. Everything is packed very nicely in a way that when it goes into you, it opens up, it breaks down, it digests well. Okay, it goes down, it digests well. How about you just take that essential part and try to digest it separately? Right? The body is not designed to digest that way. When I went to Las Vegas, the first person I met, they took me to their house for a lunch because I just went there and so many people started inviting me. And there, the first person I met, he had cancer. He could hardly walk. Then I asked him what happened. That was the first time I saw this. This was about 7 years ago. And he told me that he was on 1 year, he was taking protein shakes day and night. He was eating something here, there, but mostly he was on protein shakes. He wanted to build a body. Suddenly there was a liver failure. From that day I realized, ayyo. So for him it happened very fast. But for those who take slowly, regularly, it happens slow, but the effect is there. Okay? So when you are young, you don't feel the effect. Okay? But that's not the way it's meant to be eaten. So in Ayurveda or anywhere, if you look at most holistic doctors, there's very good holistic doctors, YouTube, they give good points. Food is meant to be eaten wholesome. Okay? Now, for example, even these burgers. Now, if you take whole milk, okay, how many of you have lactose intolerance, for example? Or milk you cannot digest? Anybody? Only one? Okay. Some people? Okay. Now, milk. Milk has the highest protein, we said. Which milk? That is the biggest question. Now you go to the market, you will find 2%, 3% milk. Right? Is that milk? No, that is just water. What they do is they take out the fat and sell it to you as butter and cheese. But what is there is the water. It is no use. In fact, it raises your sugar level even further. Because what is left is pure sugar, pure carb. The fat is what gives you the benefit. The protein is what gives you the benefit. So they take out the fat, the protein, everything, and left with 2%. That too we are not sure. How do they know it's 2%? So everything is taken out. All the fat. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. The people who are running the dairies, the same people are in the government. And they make the policy. That is how it works. Those who are on the board of some big company, they come to the government and they make the policy. Right? Just like there is so much corruption around the world. So in Ayurveda, so most people who had lactose intolerance, milk health issues, so I told them just take whole milk with ghee. In Ayurveda it says if milk is difficult to digest for you, you add ghee to the milk. Okay? And in fact, for mental health issues, milk with ghee is the best, most beneficial. Right? If husband and wife have a fight, both drink a glass of milk with ghee and then fight. Then you'll fight very gently. You'll be very soft. The mind will become stronger. It actually gives you very good sleep. And it actually recovers your mental health. Adding ghee to the milk. Yes. It is there in Charaka Samhita. In Rasayanas, that which strengthen your brain and mind. So imagine Krishna has given, that's why Prabhupada said milk is the most wonderful of all foods. And Prabhupada always cooked in ghee. And milk, like some people have chronic knee pains, joint pains, everything. And I met several people like that. Usually little like 30s, 40s, I told them, drink hot milk. In the Go Shastra it's there. Drink hot milk with ghee standing up. All the joint pains go away. Huh? Night. Milk usually is taken either first thing in the morning, like your breakfast, or at night. Okay? Yeah. See, the thing is, A1 or A2, the main thing is the cows should be eating grass. Number one. I was living in a farm and they were giving cows grain, heavy grains, that too industrial. And whenever I was drinking that milk, I felt like I took some stone. So whatever the cows eat, so that is why grass-fed is so crucial. Then I realized, now I realize why grass-fed is so important. Because the quality of the milk depends on what the cows eat. So if they eat herbs, like this was a little funny. So I was, like yesterday, my ghee sold out. But I had this, we make ashwagandha ghee, brahmi ghee, right? So I was making this ashwagandha ghee, I was showing to one lady. She said, you feed the cow ashwagandha and the ashwagandha ghee comes out. Cow gives milk only. It has some more ashwagandha, So whatever you feed the cow, the milk becomes, healthy, like that, okay? So whatever herbs you feed, like I know one godbrother of mine, he is associated with the San Jose temple. So he has a Goshala in San Jose. It's about 20 cows or something. And he regularly feeds herbs and the milk is very good. He said, herbal milk, Prabhu. In fact, Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, she has cows now. Those are cows not available here, right? So she has different Shyamali. So the color of that cow is Shyama. And it gives strawberry milk directly for Krishna. So there is Gauri, right? She is like sunrise and it like yellowish. Whenever Krishna is early morning mood, she gives that. So there are different cows with different colors and mood. And when Krishna is, small cows, okay. Right. Okay. So you see, yeah. Night actually, because it's heavy, you feel sleep, you get good sleep. Second is, it nourishes your body. It's not like a grain. Okay? So grain means it has to be crushed. Milk is, it has to spread. Okay? So it actually nourishes all your tissues. So every food has a different effect. Okay? When you wake up in the morning, you don't feel the milk in your mouth. So if you eat something heavy at night and sleep, suppose I eat 10 parathas, for example, and I wake up in the morning, I can smell it. It's still there, right? It's heavy. I drink milk and I sleep. It doesn't smell that way. It digests. It moves. Okay? It nourishes every part. In fact, some things are like milk. You take a milk bath, right? Or a milk massage, so many things. It actually nourishes your body even otherwise. So it's a tonic. In Ayurveda, in Charaka Samhita, it is a tonic for the night. Okay? It helps you sleep. Especially if you add the ghee. I add ashwagandha ghee. Like morning for my whole yoga practice, it gives me the whole nourishment for the next day. Okay? All right. So, taking sprouts is one of the best form of protein. So, you should have sprouts 2 to 3 days a week. So, I gave most of you the book. If you don't have a book, I have a few books left. Okay. So, you can take a book. And we have a method how to make sprouts in that. Okay. And so, basically, yeah, so I mentioned some, I'll share this presentation. So, if you get 25 to 30 grams in high quality protein, okay, so 24-hour muscle synthesis, okay. What's the time now? Okay, we are at 11, okay. So, once you eat a certain amount of protein, anything, why should you not overeat? So here's the thing. So if you think drinking 1 cup of milk gives me so much nourishment, so let me drink 10 cups of milk. Right? I'll get more nourishment. You may think that way. But does it work that way? It doesn't work that way. Because body can absorb only so much. Okay, just like exercise. You have 24 hours. So you may think I'm feeling good with my exercise. Let's me exercise for 16 hours. Right? So next day, you'll go to Vaikuntha. That's it. But you'll go to exercise loka, not Vaikuntha loka. But the thing is, in a day, so that is why, that's how it is. So when I was young, you go into critical thinking mode, right? When you're young, why is life like this? Why is life so painful? Why should I get married? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Everybody has a questions before they get married. Then no questions, right? so I was thinking, okay, can I sleep for 2 days? Or can I sleep 1 day and be awake 2 days, right? You have all these questions. But look at how Krishna has created a rhythm. And all you have to do is you have to be in that rhythm. And that is all the training you need. This is how the nature is. This is how the body is. You have to be in that rhythm. And when you are in that rhythm, you actually balance. Life is all about balance, right? You have to do everything certain time in a day. Right? So many hours of chanting, so many hours of meditation, so many yoga, so much eating. That's it. You cannot eat extra. Okay, I'm going on a trip for 3 days, so let me eat for 3 days. Can I do that? And I will fast for 3 days. Can you do? No. That's not how body is designed. So you should take what is optimum and then you can balance it out. Okay? So this was the first presentation that I had. So I have a couple of more presentations. One moment. So, about cancer. Okay. So why is cancer formed? Cancer is like in Ayurveda perspective. I spoke about it briefly yesterday. So if you see that picture. Okay. So there are, I didn't share it. Okay. So in the 7 stages of digestion, right, your food transforms from one stage to another, correct? Now interestingly, 2 things should happen to your food. Either your food should get continuously digested to rasa, to rakta, to mamsa, to medas, asti, majja, virya, shukra. Okay? So your food is transforming. Okay? And it's getting converted from one form to the other. And the waste is getting eliminated. Okay? There are only 3 things can happen to your food. 1, you eat it, it continuously gets digested one form to the other in the body. There's no way it is stagnant. Nothing is static. Okay? Nothing is static, including stock market, right? Nothing is static. Everything changes every moment in your body. There is continuous changes. Everything is transforming. Either the food transforms and gets absorbed in your body, number 1, and the waste products are gone. Second, it doesn't digest. For example, you eat something, doesn't suit you, you vomit it out, or like you get diarrhea, whatever. It's thrown out of your body. Like sometimes you are sick, you have eaten something, you are sick, you vomit it out, you feel better. Okay, because it was not suiting you. But if it remained inside, it would have become poison. So in Ayurveda says the most dangerous thing that can happen to a food, for example, some people get suddenly fat. Alright? So what is happening? The food is not digesting, nor is getting thrown out. What happens? It becomes what is called as ama. It becomes ama. You see the word ama, right? Ama. Ama means, it's not Telugu, okay, or Tamil. So ama means poison. Okay, so that poison. So the food that half digests. Okay, so your body thinks it is still digesting, and it is half undigested, half poison. It need not be same ratio, but it somehow thinks like it is digesting, but it doesn't digest, and it circulates in your body as half poison. That is ama. Okay, so toxins. So what happens to these toxins is that at every stage, these toxins have to be eliminated. Right? So for example, if you get constipated even one day, what happens to you? Right? You see the toxicity in the body, correct? So every day you have to have a cycle. You have to follow nature's cycle. Right? So your gut is healed when there is no toxins. So when the toxins build up, all the problem starts. Now, one doctor, Japanese doctor, he taught us very wonderfully how fasting is one of the methods. Why is it one of the methods? There is something called autophagy. How many of you have heard it? Autophagy, right? Autophagy. What is autophagy? When you do not eat, what your body does, it starts to find food. It starts to find food within you. So what is the first thing it eats is the toxins. So that is why Ekadashi fasting, right? When you fast fully, what happens? After 8 hours. So there is a time limit. So 4 hours is when food is digested. Correct? So then 8 hours, after that double time of that, your body is now thinking, oh my God, he's not eating anything. What do I do? Right? So after 8 hours, it begins to search. It actually identifies the food. You double the time, 16 hours, now the body starts pulling the fats. Starts pulling the toxins from your body. Eliminates the toxins. So it eats itself. So he proved you can reverse cancer with this. So what is cancer? First of all, when that toxic waste in your body gets accumulated, you get tumor. So the food which is either absorbed or digested, but it becomes half absorbed, half digested, or half digested, it is accumulating in your body. So you can eat. So fasting once in a while is good. I would never recommend dry fasting. It's very difficult. Okay, after especially it can actually be a little shocking. So the best fasting is with water. You can also have lemon water. The another fasting that I did for 1 month, like in our book, we have chia detox lemonade. So I did chia detox lemonades for 1 month. That was also very beneficial because it controls your sugar level. Right? So you can do like 2 to 3 days fasting every 15 days. It is so beneficial. Your body eats itself. Okay? Yes. So basically today there is, instead of mother's milk, what they are giving, that artificial milk, what is that called? Formula. If you look at the ingredients, it is all toxic. Okay? Because the children, they have the 9 months of nourishment, they survive. But not everybody reacts the same. Okay? Just like you have 2 kids. You scold one, you scold the other. The reactions are different. The other one might hit you back. Right? Or something like that. So it depends on the kid. It depends on the body type. So some kids have greater immunity. But some people, when you inject this sugar, right? I know that mono type of food, mono, like same. Like for example, they eat the same bacon, whatever, or eating the same kind of sugar, biscuits or cereals, eating the same thing for years and years. So that causes cancer. Like in India, you chew the tobacco, that causes mouth cancer, mouth ulcer. So kids also, some of them are with a weak immune. On top of it, you put these heavy foods, artificial foods, right? That's how the body system breaks down. It doesn't get eliminated. So basically, in Ayurveda, for cancer also, so the system is the same. First you have to detox. So Vamana, Virechana, ghee detox, light diet, okay? You don't eat heavy. So you eat light for many days, eat little for many days. That also absorbs your toxins. Exercise, sunlight. How many of you take sunlight every day? Huh? 2 months you have. 3 months, right? So for 3 months, not sure. For both are fine. Morning is the best, but both are fine. So basically, in the summer, try to take as much sunshine. Let's put it that way. Let's put in a very practical way. And winter, whenever it comes, run outside. As soon as it comes, okay. Okay. So pitta means it improves your, like you do go morning for jogging or walk or something. It sweats you well. Like what I do is, it's summer now in Las Vegas. Your car is boiling. Okay. So I sit in the car without the AC and go for a short drive without the AC. So I sweat like anything. It's 115. Okay, it's 115, 120. So it's easy for you to sweat that way. So it's like a sauna inside the car. So basically, if you take sunlight, so at least try to take it in the summer. Okay. So take it for long hours. Okay. And when you do it, sunlight, exercise, yoga, pranayam. So it's the same methodology that we discussed earlier. Okay. All right. This is a list of herbs for. I wanted to discuss some herbs which are very, very beneficial. So let's go to that. So for diabetes and this thing, which are very beneficial, so which you can keep at home on a regular basis. Okay. Let me tell you the important one. So first is Piper longum, Pippli. Okay. Pippli is very beneficial. What sunblock? Sunscreen. Sunscreen. So he said 8 months there is no sun. It is not needed. So the thing is, when you are in the sun for a long time, you might get some dryness or something. But you generally don't need it. Okay? That is all a myth. They simply made this because the Australia, they had to come up with something why so many people are getting cancer. They will never blame their food and medication. They will always blame the sun. I mean, in Mahabharata and all that. Like, in India, how many people get cancer from the sun? It doesn't make sense, right? So, I heard so many theories about it. But it's not really. See, the point is that they never blame sugar, for example, officially. Unofficially, so many people will blame it. But they'll never blame sugar. So it's a little heavy. Yeah, it's a little heavy. But the thing is that overexposure, yes, it can increase pitta, it can burn. So ideally 20 to 30 minutes in a day is very beneficial. Okay, 20 to 30 minutes, not more than that. Okay, you can take a little more maybe, but you have to wear a cap or protect yourself. But in general, 20 to 30 minutes direct sunlight to the body is highly beneficial. Okay, yeah. So some of the herbs that are beneficial is one is pippali, Piper longum, bhumi amlaki. So that is also good for hair. Okay, bhumi amlaki, then guduchi. So during this thing also, so these are things you can take on a daily basis. Okay, I've listed a lot because I did a whole seminar with this, but you don't have to take all of it. So I'm telling you the important ones. So pippali, bhumi amlaki, and then guduchi, amrita. Okay, guduchi is one of the most immune providing herbs. So you can take it like easily. You can take in your home, you can keep Brahmi, Ashwagandha, Guduchi. Take two tablets or one tablet each per day. 2 is better. You get from Himalaya or some Banyan botanicals you can get. They are very, very beneficial. Okay, you can take these herbs. Yeah, it's very good for kids. 5 and above. Then Manjishta, so for heart issues. So basically, if you look at it, now coming to the conclusion. Okay, so we'll summarize and then we will go for questions. Is that morning you need to have very light. So what I have generally in the morning, or what we recommend generally in the morning, is either have soaked nuts. So morning is the best time to have fruits and soaked nuts. Do not eat heavy in the morning. And second is, from our book you can see the chia lemonades. So morning should be very light. Okay, morning you should not have a shotgun, right? Idli. When I first did my class, like so my professor came and said, idli is tamasic. After idli you will fall sleepy. He said, idli is tamasic, we've been eating all life. And suddenly he said, idli is tamasic. What professor is this? So then I realized that is true, because one, it's over fermented. Okay, second, it is like, so rice directly it is sugar, yes, but when you grind it, the glycemic index increases. Like for example, there is a difference between taking fruits and fruit juice. Fruit juice raises your sugar level very fast compared to when you eat the whole fruit. Okay, so that is why whole fruits are better. Okay, only if you take berries and all, which are low in sugar, low GI, glycemic index, so they are okay. Nuts in the morning, so for energy. Or you can have, if you want to have something cooked, have apple sauce, pear sauce. Then for lunch, you should have the best meal. But many people work, they say, we can't eat heavy. At least eat medium. Okay? Because if you skip the time when the sun is at the best, your digestion eventually goes weak. Because most people have heavy dinner. Okay? Heavy dinner, when you wake up in the morning, everybody has a bulged belly. Today, hardly anybody has a flat belly, correct? You have to iron it to make it flat. But why is that? Actually, one devotee showed me a picture of 1930s, Madurai temple, Meenakshi temple. So there people were coming out and going in like general picture, black and white, old picture. That time everybody is not wearing anything on top, right? Just uttari or something. Everybody had a flat belly. 1930s, because everybody mostly worked physically, right? Not like this all day. Okay. Everybody was. So they were physically working, and also their food was organic, right? All this polluting food started like manufactured foods in the 50s, 60s. Hmm? So he said, what happened to the flat belly, right? Like even you should go on like many, dietary doctors and on X, I follow them, like Twitter. Like 80s, people were very, flat and lean. And so then what happened, right? Two things happened. So one is excess sugar, second is excess white flour. Hmm? So this two epidemics, and mostly eating from ready to eat foods. Okay, this is what happened. So morning you should have very light foods. Morning if you take grains, your insulin level goes high. Insulin is a fat storing hormone. So grains raise your insulin to the highest. That's why today everybody is pre-diabetic, because morning everybody eats cereals. Cereals, even to give cereal to kids. First thing is, it is cooked 3 or 4 times. It is so dry. You see, in Ayurveda it is said, don't eat dry foods. Okay, like papad. Papad is one of the most unhealthiest foods you can eat. If you are eating only papad. Papad with a little bit soft rice and all is okay. But if you just eat, sometimes we have dry snack, right? Khakra. Second is, most of these things are made with the worst oils. For example, they look for the cheapest oil. When I went to Indonesia to meet my Guru Maharaj, like my Guru Maharaj I had invited in 2003. So Indonesia is one of the biggest palm oil suppliers. And when we went on the train for 8 hours, we were in a train from Jakarta to some island. And the forest after forest is gone. Okay, because they are just growing palm oil. They are destroying the forest and they are growing palm oil. And then I realized palm oil is as good as diesel. It's as good as diesel in quality. So it literally causes inflammation. Your gut is burnt out. So if you are buying Indian snacks, bhujia, right? What else? Either make it your own if you care for your gut. Because when you buy this, you look at any packet, you turn around and see it's only palm oil. They say, and interestingly they say vegetable or palm or kernel or something oil. They don't know which is it. Right? So do not eat anything in a box. Cook nicely, offer it to Krishna with full love, and then eat. Okay? Yeah, the sooner you eat better, but still, whatever you have cooked, it is still far better than outside food. That's what I'm saying, the ready-made foods. Okay? So your lunch should be good one. So you can take previous night's lunch or something. So try to eliminate wheat, try to have more millets. Okay? Like one friend of mine, I was always telling him, have barley, he had diabetes. So I told him, have barley roti. He was difficult to give up wheat for him. So he came to our house one day, we had a lunch together. So my wife had made barley roti. After he ate, oh, this is better than wheat. That's what I was telling you all along. So in Ayurveda, barley is considered one of the best grains to recover your body. Okay? So if you are having issues with the fat, thyroid, diabetes, then instead of rice and wheat, you can have barley. You can have millets also. Okay? Now, these are very light, because they are not yet GMO, they are not yet there. Okay, they are not yet so popular, so you can still eat. In fact, India, there is a movement of millets. Modi ji declared millet, International Year of Millets, just because of this reason. Because 56% of India is pre-diabetic. Okay, millets, although you should eat less grain. So lunch, eat like nice, you can cook a millet and you can cook, so you will not feel very heavy if you take some millet and dal. Okay, you don't have to take elaborate meal, so millet and dal or something like that. And then night, have either soup or milk. Okay? If you have heavy meals at night, imagine the belly slowly growing out or indigestion slowly rising. Okay? And once you have a heavy meal at night, your sugar level goes very high, right? Insulin goes high. What does it do? Your melatonin turns on. What is the sleep hormone? Melatonin. Once it turns on, insulin turns off. So whatever you eat is stored as it is for you for the morning, breakfast. Right? So late night, heavy dinners are not good. Okay? So you can have something very light and at least give it 2 to 3 hours, because the food has to go from the belly to the duodenum. Let's go to the next level. If it's in the belly, it doesn't digest. Okay? So in this way, the point is, if you maintain a routine and you have to maintain it for some time, that is the most difficult thing. Right? Every weekend some guest comes, some festival, something happens, something. There is no excuse. If you are serious, you have to do it. That is called Shuchi Vrata, I explained. Shuchi Vrata means, like Krishna says, who becomes successful? Yatantascha Drada Vrata. In Yoga Sutra also it says, one who understands the practice from the root, understands every nuance of the practice, and one who is very rooted in his practice, he becomes successful. Like, I'm not doing it out of like some sentiment, I'm doing it out of intelligence. So Ayurveda also, like I began in the first session, I explained, Ayurveda explains disease as prajna aparada, intelligence failure. Right? So I did not detect. What does intelligence do? It detects where is the enemy. So I am not able to detect what am I doing wrong. So if you are not able to detect what you are doing wrong, there is a intelligence failure. Correct? So we have to improve upon it. So if you understand, follow the sun, follow the moon. So follow the sun means in your daily routine. Follow the moon means monthly routine. Right? Ekadashi. Make it, So I do Ashtanga like every day, 365 days I do. So my meals are almost the same. Only around Ekadashi time it becomes a little less. Okay? Otherwise, I am generally eating the same amount, same thing mostly throughout the year. Okay? Discipline. When I am traveling, okay, you get different people offer different things. But in general, if you see, there is, you have to balance. Okay? And if you achieve this balance, there is no disease that cannot be overcome. But ultimately our goal is to achieve Krishna Bhakti. Right? So in the beginning, like when my Shiksha Guru, I remember him telling, when in the beginning he said, chanting, dancing, feasting, yay, we can eat how much we want, prasad. Huh? Then after 1 year he told me, I was telling the same thing. He said, yes, only in the beginning. Then you have to be disciplined. In the beginning, yes, you can eat ISKCON bullets, right? What is that? Gulab jamun. Huh? You can eat as much sweets, everything, somehow get attracted to Krishna. But once you get in, after the honeymoon period, now you have to discipline. That's it. Yoga Anushasanam. Anu means to follow the acharyas. If you look at acharyas, they were all very, very systematic, very, very disciplined. Right? If you look at anybody's lifestyle, anybody's routine. Okay? So that is how we should also be. We should be very strict. We should not take it loosely. Dietary habits or discipline, daily get into exercise, yoga, whichever suits you. And then you will see, at one point the results start coming beautifully. They flow. Viveka khyati aviplavo hanopayaha. There is a steady flow of nectar. Intelligence, buddhi. All right, so I will conclude here. And any questions, comments? Yes. Quinoa. Quinoa is very good. Yeah, I discovered it after I came to the US that there is something called quinoa. But quinoa, only thing is it's high protein, it's very good. It has to be overcooked. You have to cook it a little bit more. You have to make it, because if you don't cook it well, it becomes dry. So you feel heavy. But if you cook it well, make it watery, it digests well. So quinoa is very good. Yeah, I take mostly quinoa. I hardly take rice or wheat. So my daily routine is mostly quinoa. Quinoa at home, sometimes barley, quinoa, it's a mix, or millet. So we vary the three grains. Okay? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I explained it in the beginning. You missed it. Hmm? I explained 30 minutes. So wheat is the modification of the wheat. There is an enzyme that has enhanced in the modification, and that enzyme raises the glucose level, sugar level, very high, and that is causing. Plus, it has the highest amount of glyphosate, the highest amount of pesticides. So it is the most GMO modified and pesticide crop. Okay, so it causes colic, inflammation, bad bacteria, everything. Okay, all right. Yeah. So, so the thing is, talking about that, there is something called aged rice. So, aged rice means when you harvest the fresh grain, fresh rice, it is a lot of moisture, so it becomes heavy. So, if you keep it for 1 year and then cook it, the rice, not cook it for 1 year, but keep it for 1 year and then cook it. So, that is easier on digestion because it all that moisture goes off, it is dry. When you cook, it becomes soft. So rice which is like kept like that, so what happens is the moisture content reduces even further. So it is easier to digest. But actually after 1 or 2 days it becomes very dry. So what raises the sugar with the rice is the moisture content. So that is the main thing. Okay. Some may be, but it may not be so much because one plate of rice is 10 spoons of sugar. By the way, for diabetic understanding, you know how much sugar is in your body? 1 teaspoon. That's all you need. That's all that is there in your body. So more than 1 teaspoon, it's already there. So you have enough sugar. You eat anything, there is some sugar. Right? Everything has some sugar, correct? You look at your family, there is full of sugar. Right? They are very sweet family. Right? So anything you eat rice, there is sugar. So one plate of rice is 10 spoons sugar. One plate of wheat is 16 spoons sugar. One plate of quinoa is 2 spoons sugar. One plate of barley is 2.5 spoons sugar. Okay? So that is why. So once you eat rice, you are eating 10 spoons sugar. Do you need it? No. Okay, yeah.
I have a question. Like way back when in my childhood, when rice used to be cooked, the water is been removed. Nowadays, like we are being the fast mode of life, we are cooking in Instapot, and most of that starch is there in the rice, and we are eating that. Does that has an impact? And
Okay.
cooking on an Instapot is better, or cooking directly
pot.
on open pot is better?
Yeah. So open pot is generally better. Okay, because the thing is the excess whatever is there is gone. Okay, Instapot, what happens is Instapot is still better than pressure cooker. Because what happens in pressure cooker is when the food is pressurized, okay, the vata, the food is also under pressure, that rice. So when you eat it, you also that it releases the pressure. So it actually increases your pressure. So that is why better than cooker, Instapot, but open pot is the best. Okay, because it is the least amount of pressure. Okay, so that the blood pressure is also low in that. Okay.
And also removing the starch.
Water, yeah, starch. So open pot, the starch goes away, which is still much better. Okay, whatever is not needed. You don't need the excess water. You need the starch only if you are working in the fields. You need starch for like heavy, when you are sweating. But otherwise you don't need that starch. Okay, so open pot is always better. Okay, all right. So they are both interrelated, by the way. So vitamin D is the chief. By the way, COVID, what it did, either it was designed or by it came automatically, but whatever it was, it attacked vitamin D. So when vitamin D in the body goes low, in fact, 98% of people who died of COVID had low vitamin D. In fact, 100%. Okay, so their vitamin D went low. In fact, people who are in the nursing homes with not much sun, low vitamin D, they got more effect, negative effect. So vitamin D controls all the balance of other vitamins. Okay, so if you take daily almond and walnuts, okay, Brazil nuts, so trace minerals. So you get in that. You need 3 cups of vegetables every day. 3 cups of vegetables, well cooked, and then you need ghee and milk. If you have that, you won't get that, because vitamin D is there in plenty in ghee, milk. You get all that. And then butter, okay, all these things. Don't eat seed oils, okay, they leach out all these vitamins, okay. And then all the trace minerals, magnesium and all these things, okay. So they are all leached out when you take a lot of oils. They make the body rough, okay. So with plenty of vegetables, you will not have dirt. Vegetables, nuts and ghee, 3 things you need. Grains are mostly vitamin B's. Okay. For example, if you go to any store, you get bread, right? I was thinking, wow, 50 things they put in the bread. What is it? Did you see, right? What is it? Niacin, riboflavin. Have you read it? I was thinking, what is this? They are all vitamin B1, B2, B3, B4. Because they found out that 24 hours after you make a commercial bread, it has no nutrient, zero. Now, how do we sell this? Okay, let's add some nutrients. Does it digest? No. So what you are eating, bread, it is the most drying food with zero nutrition. It is just high carb, that's it. Okay, so you have to get it naturally. Okay, so that is why if you take, for example, Brahmi and Ashwagandha regularly, you won't have any of these deficiencies. Ghee, Brahmi, Ashwagandha, Guduchi, these 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what I said. If you, vitamin D and B12 almost go together. Okay, so that is why with the ghee, and especially with the herbs like Ashwagandha and Brahmi, you will balance both. Okay, D and vitamin B12. And with the 3 cups of vegetables, you will also get all the needed potassium, right? It all goes, it's not like something is isolated. You are basically missing vitamin D, then B12 also goes low. So you can get both of them together. Okay? Yeah. Oh, grain. Yeah, you get it with millets also. No, you can have, actually there is a red rice, like barley, and then there is red rice, Shastikanam. I get that Lundberg brand from this thing. So you get that from there. All the B vitamins you can get from that red rice. Shastika Shobhananam, raw red rice. Don't get the parboiled red rice. Wild rice. Okay, they are okay. And then millets. So in that you will get all the B vitamins. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question about the juice, fruit juice. Like what is the composition? Like if I mix vegetable and fruits, 60% vegetable
Okay,
juice
don't
and
mix
40%.
vegetables and fruits.
Okay.
Okay, they are not meant to be mixed.
Because sometimes I do like spinach and apples and carrots. I add it and have the juice in the morning.
Okay.
So is it suggestible?
That juice actually is called a concoction. Okay. Okay, you should have. Just joking. So either you put something of the same family together. Okay, in Ayurveda it is said don't eat virudahara. So virudahara means that which does not match. Okay, so green vegetables you can put them all together with same taste. So put things together with same taste. The only thing you can add maybe like ginger. Okay, fruits with similar taste, similar family you can put it together. Okay, it will be still beneficial. Okay, so fruits means basically in today's this thing, the banana for example, they have removed the seeds, so it's GMO. So it's 3 to 4 times more sweet. Even apple, they spray some chemical to make it more sweeter. So berries are one of the low GI. So what you have to do is you have to look at the GI index. And berries with low GI, you can put them together. I usually take more berries, kiwi, things like that. So they are low in GI. Okay, yeah. 1 second, here.
So there is always thinking about water. So when you take a food, right, you should not drink water in between, or you have to wait for
Correct.
hour after complete food. What is the right process?
So that is correct. When you eat, you can take little water to keep the food moist for digestion, but you should not drink a lot. Okay, it's like when you are cooking food. Jadwat Maharaj told me, like when you are eating food, it's like you are cooking it. When you are cooking, if you put too much water, the food becomes diluted. It doesn't digest, right? It doesn't cook well. So take little water. After eating, don't drink water for 45 minutes. The moment you drink water after eating, Chanakya Pandit says, little water taken during eating food is like nectar. Water drunk immediately after eating food becomes poison, he says. Yeah. Okay. So that is how. So before 30 minutes, you can drink. Little bit during food, little bit you can take. But actually most of our foods already have water, like dal has water, sambar, right? What else? Sometimes you get watery chutney, or what else? So you have already most of the hydration you need for the food. Food should not be very dry, that's the whole thing. So for that you need to hydrate. If you are taking rotis, then you need a little water because rotis are dry. But after that you should not drink. It immediately stops the digestive process. So in a day at least like half a gallon. When I went on a water fast, I was drinking 1 gallon per day. And what I realized was for a normal day, you need half a gallon. Okay, you need that much. But that is during the non-food hours. And actually most of our snacking habit can be overcome if you drink water. My teacher told me, if you feel hungry in between, like snacking time, then eat water. When I did the water fast, that was at the moment I felt hungry, I was drinking so much water. That's how I finished the 1 month water fast. Okay, all right. Yeah, you can make that, yeah. They are very good in the morning. Morning, yeah. Morning, because they don't have sugar, green vegetables. They're very good, yeah. Yeah. Black rice is good, like I said. Organic black rice is good, wild rice is good. But brown rice is same as white rice. Brown rice has more sugar than white rice.
Okay.
But it has little more fiber. Okay, I heard somewhere that Prabhupada did not recommend brown rice.
Okay.
Okay, but I found that brown rice is equally high in sugar or more than white rice. So it has a little more fiber, that's it.
And can we mix, when we are making a juice or a shake, can we mix fruits and
Milk.
Nuts?
Nuts, fruits and nuts are fine.
Okay.
But fruits and milk and fruits and yogurt are not good.
Okay.
people make fruit and milkshake. No. Fruit and, yeah. In my book, I have the combination. So you can, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. All right. That's it. Okay, so we can, yeah. Okay.
Prabhuji, when my great grandparents or my grandparents at that time, we only had rice. They were normal. We didn't have wheat in our house at all. How come we cannot eat rice now? Because now nobody says don't eat rice, don't eat rice.
So first of all, the rice, what has happened is they started polishing the rice. Okay, that is the problem. Today's rice. So that is why the red rice, the raw rice, and the black rice, they organic, they don't polish it. So the white rice that you get in India, it's all polished. They polish everything. What do? They take the rice bran out of it, and they make rice bran oil, and they make rice protein, or whatever is there. So it's already taken out from there. What you are getting is just the carbohydrate, sugar. That's why the sugar levels are going high. If you get unpolished raw rice, it's still better. That's rare to get. So that is why the red rice, it's still raw, the black rice, the wild rice, so they are still raw. Okay, and second is our digestion has also, our physical work has reduced. Previously, women used to do a lot of grinding, that chakki and that house cleaning, like physical. The waste used to become very strong. Today, it's not so much. So our digestive capacity is also less. So the sugar is more, right? So, but if you balance with the exercise, yoga, diet, it'll come. Okay. All right. Okay. Last question. Okay.
Prabhuji, for vitamin D and B12, you recommended vegetables, no, Prabhuji? Ghee, milk and vegetables.
Mainly ghee, milk, because they are high in vitamin D. Very few foods are rich in vitamin D, for B12 also. So the ghee, I never had a deficiency because I took a lot of ghee.
Okay.
And the second thing is we also had Brahmi and Ashwagandha herbs. Brahmi, Ashwagandha, Guduchi. If you take regularly, none of us had, whoever I know they took, they never had a deficiency of it, even during tests.
Okay. And what vegetables you recommend, Prabhuji?
So apart from potato, potato and what do you call, bengan. Okay, so bengan, what do you call? Eggplant. So eggplant. So they are very gassy. So if you are having gas issues, then potato you should avoid. If you don't have any issue, also avoid potato. Okay. Okay. That's like a rare thing. That's good for kids, but not for adults. And then the most energetic, like healthy, like raw banana is one of the best. Peas, mainly in vegetables, sprouts, green vegetables. Green vegetables are good for, spinach, that Indian sorekai, all that. Yeah. So, and some people make this juice of that
Pumpkin.
pumpkin. Don't do all
White.
that.
Okay.
Ashgard.
Yeah.
Right. I know 2 people who died.
Oh.
Because what happens is many times they put this chemical into that ashgard to make it big. So when you take raw, most of those chemicals they get in. Okay, fruits you have to wash thoroughly. Fruits are anyway meant to be eaten raw. Okay, but vegetables in ashgard, when you make juice, it makes you highly vulnerable to those chemicals. So cook it. I saw many people do that detox and they got like a lot of skin issues. So don't do that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
All right. Okay. Thank you all so much, and I'm really thankful to Damodar Prasad Prabhu and all the devotees here for inviting me. And it's been really wonderful 3 days, and the yoga class in the morning and all the sessions here. So yeah, thank you for all your love. And I have some more books left, so those who haven't gotten my free book, you can get the book. And hope to be back sometime. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.